Two of the giants of magic and wizardry met by chance at the Magic Convention in Sydney Opera House. Cuttle, the feathered dragon, is a shapeshifter and is appearing at the convention in human form. The other is the Wizard of the World. This wise individual has a long beard, a magic hat and a wand. They bonded very quickly and they share similar values and want peace in the world and bring suffering to an end.
Crotto, your cunning, fierce and strong, combined with my wisdom and ability to make lots of potions, we can make change for the good.
We will need to use our collective powers and strength to defeat the Black Fairy, for many have tried but all have failed.
Castle Despair in the Scottish Highlands was indeed a daunting location. The Black Fairy cast the war and destruction spell hundreds of years ago, which has pit countries against each other in mindless violence, resulting in billions of needless deaths. The Wizard of the World has been working on a spell which permanently ends this, also to put the Black Fairy into a deep sleep, where she can be tried and sentenced in Fairyland.
I have been working day and night to create this combination spell.
Cottle, the feathered dragon, was required to inhale this plentiful potion and jettison this from his mouth at the exact time. The potion would only fully work for 25 minutes after its creation, and as the wizard had to produce this in Australian soil, there were severe timing issues going from there to Scotland. A full moon was also a prerequisite for the spell working. Cottle said,
Meet us outside the Sydney Opera House at 10 p.m. on Friday. We are going to change the world.
Cottle and the wizard arrived at the Opera House just before 10 p.m. The Wizard of the World then activated the magical spell and tapped the dragon on his mouth. Cottle then soared and sped through the night sky. His quest had begun. Cottle arrived at Castle Despair only 10 minutes later. He was now in the middle of a heavy storm at the entrance to the castle. The Black Fairy was ready for Cottle, and she dispensed her winged monsters to attack. The monster stabbed into Cottle's body and quickly tied his body up with strong rope to stop him moving. They didn't, however, secure his large mouth. Cottle noticed the tight knot on the ground securing him. He turned his head and blew fire at it. The knot instantly frayed and Cottle was free. He only had a couple of minutes before the spell would wear off. The Black Fairy then instantly put a force field that would protect her all over. However, Cottle was adamant that he wasn't going to fail like all the others. Cottle aimed and directed fire at the shield. The winged monsters couldn't attack Cottle as he was too hot. Cottle was doing all he could to break the dark Black Fairy defences. The extreme fire blowing was taking its toll on the dragon. Using all his strength reserves, he blew his final gasp of fire. This broke the force field and now the fairy was exposed. Cottle could see the fear of the Black Fairy's eyes and with only seconds to spare, blew the magic spell gas over her. The fairy instantly fell to the cold castle floor and entered a deep sleep. The winged monsters appeared to disappear too, and the castle brightened up. Cottle sensed the end of suffering in the world and peace for everyone. He was right. It was a very emotional scene back at the Opera House. The Wizard of the World used his wisdom and negotiation to bring world leaders together, and Cottle, with his strength and adaptability, would always be an asset. Their adventures were truly just beginning.